Okay, my name is Honest Rodzi, and I come from an organization, the International Chamber for Youth Advancement. What we really do is we go out there, travel around the globe, look for investors, and we come back with those kind of investors whom we link with the young people who are in Zimbabwe and who are into business, who are in various fields of endeavors. What we really do is we realize that there are a lot of multilateral bodies or multilateral institutions to which Zimbabwe is part and parcel of, including the United Nations, the SADC, the AU. It's just one. It's just few, those are just few examples. But the question we should ask ourselves as young people is, are we really deriving maximum benefits by us being member or part and parcel of those institutions? Then the question, the answer definitely is there are a lot to be derived if we work for it. So that is basically what we are doing, to make sure that we derive maximum benefits to from the multilateral institutions to which Zimbabwe is part and parcel of. And then another issue is that as Zimbabwe, we have allies. Like you hear the government talking of the Look East policy. Yes, we must look at the Look East policy at times in a positive way to say, what is it that we can derive from the East? Even the West at times are looking East. So are we really getting benefits or better recognition from these? For instance, the conference we attended, the SPIF conference, the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, we attended. I met young and ambitious young business people from Russia. And then we came to a conclusion that if Russia could remove a visa for South Africans, and South Africa did the same in reciprocal, then we as Zimbabwe can do the same. That is how we can facilitate tourism. This is how we can facilitate skills transfer, and that is how we can quickly facilitate the issues to do with trade and investment. We as Zimbabwe, I think we deserve the same. And also, we are highly honored to be part and parcel of this year's edition of the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, being the only country in Africa which President Putin recognized that he should invite the young people. And I went there as a young person from Zimbabwe. We learned a lot that actually when it comes to the issues to do with economics and investment, if we are really united and if we work for it, then everything will go in the field. And that's what Russia really showed us. Another thing which I think we need to stress is that an ordinary young person in Zimbabwe would like to know is that what were the benefits from that conference? From that conference, we met business captains of industries who are into various fields. For instance, we met the companies who are into equipment manufacturing for mining. And they are ready to partner with young Zimbabweans, young and ambitious Zimbabweans who are sort of in the field of mining. So they can come in with capital, and what we now appeal to our government is to make sure that they avail at least some of the mining claims or whatever, be it chrome, be it gold, to young people, so that when we link with them, with the investors, at least they come to the table with something in their hands. They will be treated as an equal partner, because what we want to facilitate are agreements anchored on mutual respect, mutual understanding, and mutual benefit. It will benefit an investor, it will benefit young people in Zimbabwe. Another field which the Russians are also looking into partnering with Zimbabweans is the issue to do with manufacturing of fertilizer, and also the issue to do with investment in ICTs. However, Russia is a friend for Zimbabwe. They had something to say to their colleague, to say the investment climate in Zimbabwe need to change. And we as young people, we should say it, that yes, there have been a lot of talking to say from politicians to say we are looking into it, we are looking into it. This is not time for sloganeering, because young people are not longer interested in slogans, but we are interested in real, in addressing of these issues. We must see the political will to address the issues affecting investors. Like, actually, how can you justify a situation where an investor come into Zimbabwe, and for him or her to set up an investment venture, you need not less than 2 weeks to do that. You know, it's a lot of money involved, traveling from wherever that investor is coming from, living in the hotels and whatever. It's a lot of money which is good, and we are doing nothing really to address those. In some countries, everything is done online, and an investor just comes, when he has done or everything online. So we should look into those issues which the investors are looking in, which the investors are saying, Zimbabwe, please, we understand there are a lot of investment opportunities in Zimbabwe, but can you also look into those issues? That message is not only coming from West, it's coming from our very own allies, it's coming from China. You know, it was an international investment forum. We met Chinese, we met Latin Americans, we met the Americans themselves. We met even Russians, we met captains of industry from Singapore and from other countries. And their message was the same. They were echoing the same message, that the investment climate in Zimbabwe needs to be adjusted. And at this juncture, I think in as much as we are traveling around the globe doing this for our young people in Zimbabwe, we would also need the support from the corporates. And at this juncture, I would like to take the opportunity to thank First Mutual for having come on board on various conferences we have been having, like the German conference. You know, because as young people, we came to understand that we are global citizens, and in as much as our country is pursuing a narrow and monolithic foreign policy of looking west, but as young people, we are global citizens. We are part and parcel of the United Nations, and by that virtue, we have the right to look east, west, south, and north. We have been doing this, and we have young people from the West, particularly from Germany, who are willing to work with young people in Zimbabwe in various fields, be it mining and be it even cultural exchange. Germans are very much willing to come on board, on those aspects. And if we are to look at it at an angle of tourism, it's a potential tourist, source for tourism, which we are not utilizing, like the Germans, the guys from Norway, and other guys I cannot mention at this platform, because there are some engagements which are going on behind the scenes. So young people from Zimbabwe must brace themselves to say, whatever you are doing, this project you are doing, might really seem new to Africa, because there haven't been sort of projects which were done before, which is like this, what we are doing. So it might not make sense now, but I tell you, the young people in India are doing it, and are doing it very well. The young people in Germany are doing it, and are doing it very well. And it's high time we move together with the global trends to say, we as young people, we also deserve our share on the table, especially on the international arena, and we should derive maximum benefits from the multilateral institutions to which we are affiliated to. Right. So maybe to clarify on how young people can come on board and be linked to investors. first and foremost, we need young people who are organized, who are really into something. For instance, the other young people from Midlands who are into chrome mining, whom we linked with South African investors. They've organized themselves, they got claims from government, and they were mining already, but they were struggling to penetrate the market. So we talked to our friends in South Africa who are coming on board with capital, that is equipment, and they are also facilitating, that is the market, the chrome itself, where it is going to be marketed. So it will be good for us if we are to find young people who are structured or organized in certain phases to say, we are young people in culture, we do manufacture these products which are, which demonstrate our culture as Zimbabweans. Then we look around to say, where can you find these kind of investors who can buy some of these issues, some of these things? Then we realize that there are Germans, there are guys from Norway, and also, yeah, if there are young people who are organized and have brilliant ideas, then we are ready to work day and night to make sure that those ideas see the light. If there is something Zimbabwe is so good at, is producing young people who are good dreamers, who can produce great projects, but when it comes to implementation, something is lacking. And we realize that what is lacking necessarily is funding. That is why, if you look at something like Facebook and some other social media accounts which we all use, they were developed by young people, by students, by students for that matter. And it's only because those countries have facilities or grants which funds such ideas to make sure that they are materialized. So this is where, as a country, I think we are lacking. We are not funding those brilliant ideas. So this is where we are trying to come in now to say, oh, these are young people. They have such brilliant ideas. Okay, we try to link you with other guys, because there are other guys out there, investors who have money, but they are still looking around at where best can they, when they invest their money, so that they'll get something out of it at the end of the day. So this is where we come in now. We facilitate. We talk to an investor, then we talk to you, having, of course, looked into the kind of project you are doing. Because what we wouldn't like is a situation where we just go to an investor with nothing, and then we'll give him false hope, and then we come on the ground, there is absolutely nothing on the ground. So we have our own way of looking around to say, okay, I think this project is viable and it's doable. Then we go out there, we approach an investor, then we got more, which we just came from the Russian conference. We met not less than 20 investors who are willing to come on board. So it was not, we just went there. We didn't have actually an investment prospectus of the youth to say the youth in Zimbabwe wants to investment in A, B, C, D. But at least we managed to get connections, we managed to get their contacts. So whenever there is an investment opportunity which goes in line with the investors whom we have already in the pocket, then it will just a matter of phone call or an email to say, okay, we have found this guy who is in this field, so we can facilitate that kind of a linkage.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.